Welcome to Moment Talk. I'm your host, Shiso Moa, and joining us is my co-host, Maya Tao. Our guest today on episode 42 is Kevin Phoojywg Xiong. This guy is a hilarious YouTuber, an artist, a content creator, and he's one fourth of Haib. We had an amazing chat with him. But first, let's thank our sponsors.
Are you looking for the latest Hmong-inspired menswear? Well, look no further. Shiso's Menswear makes suit accessories, apparels, and you can find them at www.xixomenswear.com. Hello everyone. We are super excited. Me and my co-host Mai have a guest today. You probably see him on YouTube or funny Facebook video dancing like a Hmong girl, but actually he's a dude. Well, his name is Kevin Xiong. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Hi, I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
Good. Kevin, could you tell us one thing that we do not know about you?
That, as in like you?
All of us, the listener, we don't know about you. Tell us one thing we don't know.
Oh, okay. Sure. I guess I'll just go with the basics. I am an artist, a content creator, and one fourth of the Hmong American content creating group known as Hi. In the past, I've made funny skits and videos, and I didn't really start taking it serious until like 2 years ago, and now I'm just trying to, build my online presence. So, yeah.
Awesome, and we see your presence.
Online presence. I love that, building that. So, Kevin, thank you for coming on today. You're such a funny guy. I actually just came across your videos earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually didn't know that one video that you made, that video where, what's the guy's name, the actor's name, the very sad Hmong movie.
Yes.
Well, no, yeah, and you were saying it was so hilarious. I think everybody knows what video I'm talking about when I talk about that.
The Kaz Loom the Two.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's me.
Yes. I not gonna lie, I didn't know that was you. But that was so hilarious. But you're such a very funny person, so comfortable stepping outside of your box, your own skin, like creating those kind of funny videos, especially for this time of the pandemic in our lives. It makes us laugh, and I know that in one of your videos, you say that some of your videos are embarrassing. Of course, when we look at it, we don't think it's embarrassing, right? It keeps us alive. But how do you find it within yourself to be comfortable doing that? Because a lot of people be viewed as funny or doing something embarrassing.
Yeah. I still think it's very embarrassing, and every time I'm just like, but it all just comes down to the passion and just the want to entertain and to share whatever it is that, is going on inside my head, and just, putting it out there, simply just thinking like that so that I can get over the fact that, oh my gosh, how do I look? How are people going to perceive me? Because even I myself wouldn't want to do this, but the need to put it out there is so much stronger than the shyness and the embarrassment, and it always pays off because, people end up connecting with it, and so then, yeah, that's always been kind of like my thing. No matter what kind of content, no matter how ugly it is, I'm just like, just do it and just let it go.
Well, thank you for making us laugh.
Yeah.
It's so needed.
Yes, especially during these times.
Oh my gosh, yes. How did you come up with the idea of making that video that we were just talking about?
So yes, the How Hmong Mika people sing, that's what we originally called it. That one, I know that I'm not the only Hmong American person that has thought about reading Hmong like that, right? Because Hmong is written with the Romanized letters, right? And so it we already know that it's not pronounced exactly how it's spelled out, right? Because we have like actually the tone, right? The TM at the end, and those are like the most confusing. And so when you read it in literal English, it just sounds funny and it's easier, right? To pronounce it and to read it that way. And so then, when my friends and we would karaoke, and if we don't know the words, then we will just replace it with how we pronounce it in English, right? And then, we all just thought it was really funny. And then what is it? And that was around the time that we started to create our our high platform, right? And so we were on Facebook, and then we were planning to have like every single Tuesday to post like content, and we didn't really care what it was, right? And so we've been making videos with like the whole group and stuff like that, right? But then like there came this Tuesday, and we were like, oh my gosh, we need a video, and I was like, okay, well, we're all really busy, so let me just record something really quick and really stupid, right? And it was just kind of like, you guys remember how we would like pretend to read Hmong like that? And so let me just do like a short little snippet of a popular Hmong song that people like know, right? And the funny thing is that I don't even really know that song, and I haven't seen that movie yet. But I know that they really like that song, right? And I know that, okay, I feel like a lot of people would know and connect with that song. So let me just take that song and I would listen to it, right? And I think originally it goes, "Ya lun du yo zhao lin di," and I'm just like, okay, well, here we go. Kaz lim the tu of this house lin the tea. And then I just upload like a 30-second clip of it because I feel like today people don't really take their time to watch anything, and they want something quick and fast so that they can share it, right? And then we just uploaded just to upload it because it's like, oh, we need like filler content, right? And then I posted it, and then everybody like, or like some people went to go nap, right? And then after work, that's when it blew up.
Oh wow. Wow. Well,
It's so funny.
that is so funny. I still laughed so hard yesterday when it came out. I had to watch it again. It was so funny.
Hey Kevin, I wanted to ask you, but could you talk on behalf of Hai, you, Anita, I don't know the other two individuals of
Jack
how
and
Hai
Brenda.
came about?
Yes. So, Hi, we officially started back in 2018, in the month of September. So, and it pretty much happened. So we all met each other through college. We all are St. Cloud State University students, and it was summer in 2018. Yes. And there was this convention called HCon. Um, and we all decided to just go, because we have a Hmong organization there, and they were saying like, oh, if you guys are interested, come through, we're gonna go as a group. And then a whole bunch of us just went to HCon, right? And then when we went there was like all these Hmong content creators, and they were sharing their stories and whatnot. And all of us, we were just really, really inspired by it all. So after that, then we all just kind of got together in a group chat, and we're like, okay, we're all really inspired, and we all kind of want to start like a content creating group. Who's down, and then it narrowed itself down to the four of us. Me, Anita, Jack, and Brenda, and we're like, okay, are you guys serious about this? They're like, yes, we're all very serious. And so we all just got together, in a study room in the library on campus, and we, chose a logo, chose a name, the name High, and formed our mission statement, and just try to find our niche, and are continuing to find our niche.
Well, now is HAIB an acronym, or is it Hai like ni ha hai na?
Yes, Hi, hi.
Love it.
I could.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing, you guys. What are you now? Do you guys get out together often to do content creation, or is that something that you do taha solo?
Yeah, in the beginning, well, because we're in quarantine right now, right? We can't do much because we want to practice and set an example for, you know, social distancing. So we have to put on hold a lot of our project. Um, and so we're all just kind of right. The only thing that we can really do right now is TikTok, you know, because it's at least some kind of content, you know. And so um, as of right now, there's not much that we can do. But in the past years, ever since we started, we've done like what is it? You know, we've made skits, you know, we've done parodies, and we will continue to do skits and parodies. And what else? We've done a short film. You know, we partnered up with, you know, a pageant contestant, and you know, we just do other fun filler videos. We want to collab with you know, other Hmong content creators, and we just want to do more music and podcasts as well too. We definitely want to start doing podcasts and having other people, you know, come through on our platform, stuff like that. But right now, it's just hard for us to move with any of our plans, and so we've had to just chill and yeah, focus on ourselves.
Well, I have one thing to ask you is, since you're making content, can you tell me more about the YouTube, I don't know, series or about I Hate My Nitai, aka I Hate My Grandma? How'd you come up with that? It's hilarious.
Oh, thank you. So you know, I've always been, you know, the person, a type of person to always like share my life experiences, you know, especially on Facebook, right? And it first started out with me just like typing like the conversation like on Facebook, right? And be like, oh, you know, my mom said this, you know, and then I said this, and then, you know, my nephew said this, and then, you know, people would react to it, right? Because I think those conversation type of statuses, they're hilarious, you know. And so then and, and so then I just thought that, you know, grandma always is doing something hilarious or always saying something so funny, right? I just wish I could just capture it every time that she does something so hilarious, right? You know, because it happens right there in the moment. And so I'm just like, okay, you know what, maybe I should, you know, record myself, you know, like acting out the skits. But then I was like, you know, that's too much work. So let me just like sit down and talk about it, you know, and see what happens. And so then I just recorded myself, you know, and I talked about my, you know, Nitai and what happened. And I posted the first video, and then a lot of people liked it. And so I was just like, you know what? Instead of like wishing that I could just capture these moments, let me just story tell them, you know? And then that's when eventually people were like, oh, Kevin, you should act it out. And I was just like, I'm too lazy to act it out. You know, maybe I'll act it out. And I did end up acting it out because, you know, in some of the other series episodes, I did dress up like her, and I did do a little something, but I was just like, oh gosh, it's a lot of work. And um, I don't know. It was just something random. It was just very random because I never thought about like, you know, creating videos specifically talking about my grandma. And so, yeah,
Have you ever shared all those videos with your grandma? She must be kind of cringing or laughing.
oh
Either
my
both
gosh.
or none.
I will never ever show her because
Come on. You're like gunning on your grandma, dude.
I know they're like, I get so many comments and they're like, stop putting your grandma on blast, man. If she sees this one day, she is gonna kill you. I'm just like, Hachilo ma.
If she comes and haunt you, gusto ko pleo.
Well, I mean, if that happens, it's okay. I deserve it because for the way that I put her on blast, yeah, that's like no chill at all. So, because we're already on episode 5 and she has no idea. So, yeah.
Yeah, about your grandma. She's probably what in her late 60s, 70s.
She's
Some of
almost
your
90.
she what? Really?
Yeah.
Some of your makeup is on point, brah.
Some of my makeup.
Some. I don't know if you do that yourself or you have the team, you know, put it on you.
I mean, makeup. I barely touch makeup. I don't know much about makeup. The only time that I actually really used makeup was for the Sop Sop music video. That we really wanted to go all out and try to, you know, represent the characters that, you know, we were playing Stop Stop. But other than that, then, you know, I don't touch makeup. I don't really know much about makeup. You know, yeah.
Cool. For high, how do you come up with content? I mean, how do you get the ideas? Can you tell some of the listeners who maybe wants to make content on YouTube or TikTok? How do you come up with genius, funny ideas?
First, we try to, see what's like on trend, because those are really easy to do, right? And for us, that's like filler content, because it's like, okay, well, if we don't have the time to come up with original content, we will see what's on trend, for example, TikTok, right? If they have like the brush challenge, the makeup brush challenge, or Lu Baba challenge, right? Where they would transform themselves, we would do stuff like that, or like I think the microwave challenge or whatever. If there's like a dance, or there's like a like a certain kind of like or theme that's going around, we try to hop on those. If not, then yes, we do come back to our meetings and we try to have original ideas. And usually it kind of just starts from places where it's like, okay, what's relatable, and how can we just take that idea and just kind of like run with it. And and there's the four of us, and so a lot of times we have a lot of ideas, a lot of great ideas, in which it can get very unorganized because it's like ideas just come in and out, but once we have a list of everything, and then we look at it, right? We don't shut down any ideas, we just throw it on a list, and then we look at it once again, and then we kind of just feel out what's most convenient, and what do we feel like we can really just feel inspired by. And yeah, like for example, I think we came up with like the idea for like a Hmong GPS, and that was one of our videos. I don't remember who came up with it. I think it was Jack who came up with that idea, right? And then how we would like, and then someone else added the idea like, oh, it would be funny if that GPS wasn't just speaking Hmong, but they were speaking in a way where it's like, like they're like, oh, instead of saying left and right, they just give you directions like, oh, nhớ thì lu like chạy tới and then come on told like, trong đông tới and the lu like do or whatever, And so it's like, okay, yeah, we can do something like that, or we can make it, yeah, we can just, and then like we added like the idea like maybe it can speak like not just Hmong Hmong, but how we were making we were about like how Hmong people sing, and how we sing it exactly how it's in English, where the GPS talk in not in Hmong but in Hmong, right? And so just like that, and then we just throw ideas out there, and then we kind of just polish it and chisel it down to whatever we think is that will capture people and stuff like that. So
Cũng tôi có lo GPS là tôi cũng bài mà cũng chỉ bảo lúc chạy ra cái bao. Con thằng cũng mua cũng bài cho nó khó nói bài chân đông nó bài là sao lo. Đấy chỉ cũng nếu mà cũng thế mà ở bài sai. Ô, đi tụi nó chân đông xỉa na, tao vô kế ho. Cái bao có hỏi để bài cho nó chân đông nó lo, cho nó từ lần bài trâu, từ lần trâu ra chỉ bỏ lên, right?
For real, and if you say that to the GPS, the GPS like, oh yeah, có thế à?
Well, Kevin, I'm looking forward for more from High to come after quarantine or during quarantine. Funny TikTok videos, more series of your thigh. Those are really hilarious. You went to school for, so you mentioned St. Cloud?
Yes. I went to St. Cloud, yes.
St. Cloud, that's right. And then you're done with school as of now, right?
I am actually taking a break from school.
Okay.
I came back to the city, so the rest of the High group, they are in St. Cloud, and I'm here in the cities. I'm currently living in Maplewood, so I moved back here in February, and I just needed a break. I needed to take a break and to just really focus on myself. And if it wasn't for that, I would not even be where I am today. I feel like I wouldn't even be on this show with the both of you if I did not take that break, because I really needed to focus on like my mental health, and really putting myself first, and so that I could really be truly happy. And, I've just been so involved in the community ever since I came back here. So for me, I almost see that as like, like meant to be, that I had to come back here, and then now that we're in quarantine, and hopefully people are using this time to reflect, it's like I was already on my way to like reflecting and being all like introspective and all that stuff. And then, now the quarantine's here, it's really allowing me to do that. And I'm just so grateful for everything that, has happened, because I would never imagine this to happen during quarantine, for me to even be invited on to, home and talk. And so it's all really crazy and cool.
Well, I'm
Well,
glad
we
that you're.
appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're back in your mom's basement. It doesn't. I know it's not the best pickup line, Kevin.
Yeah.
To move back to your mom's basement.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin, you just mentioned about self-reflection, and even myself and my girlfriends, we talk about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was also like you. I was already on that journey, but I feel like now this pandemic, right? It's kind of forcing everybody to do some self-reflecting. How important do you think it is to focus on oneself and to give oneself the most attention? How do you practice that?
Yeah, I think we all need to be a little bit more self-aware, because even those that are self-aware, like me, I like to consciously make decisions, and I like to, give myself a lot of time. But even though I'm like, yeah, I do that a lot, I still realize that sometimes I don't do it like enough for my own self, because maybe it's like, we all have different standards, and we all have like different levels of like how many times we do need to reflect, right? For some people, because I feel like some people, they don't reflect at all, and they're not aware at all, and so then, their life can get really chaotic, and they don't know how else they don't know, how they can like for example, if they don't reflect on like a certain emotion or anger, who knows um who else they can project their anger onto, right? And so um that's why I do think it's really important to reflect, and then so I always hold myself to that as well too. And so I tell myself, okay, even though I'm a person who's really self-aware, it doesn't hurt to continue to ask myself, am I like this? If especially if I'm reaching out to a friend, I'm just like, oh, what do you think? And so I think it's just great to always to be open about, reflecting and being aware and asking yourself these questions, no matter, how deep of a thinker you are, no matter how much you reflect, And so I think everyone owes it to themselves to just take a step back and to just reflect, and to look at their actions, look at their thoughts, and see how they're thinking about themselves, because especially right now, I hope everyone's taking the opportunity to reflect, because I feel like the universe is like, okay, everyone, go to your rooms, don't come out until you know, have an idea of, where you're going and what you want to do, right? And so for me, I think that no matter how, how many times you do reflect, it's something that you have to constantly, do, right? You have to practice it, because, practice makes progress. And because a lot of times we're like, oh, practice makes perfect, but it's like, well, there's no such thing as perfect, Like I said, just because I am me compared to another friend, they're not that much of a deep thinker, and versus me where I am a deep thinker, it doesn't mean that I'm always like constantly thinking, in the best way possible for me. We all have our own, different standards and stuff like that, and so that's why um I'm just like, okay, yeah, you have to know yourself well, and you have to just be very open to that. And so oh gosh, lost my train of thought. That tends to happen all the time. What was I saying before that? Okay, so yeah, going back to me, I guess. And so for me, yeah, oh yeah, practicing, right? So you constantly have to practice it, and tell yourself, over and over when you do realize it, because there's so many moments throughout this period for me where I've been like, oh yeah, Kevin, you are okay, you are normal, like it's okay for you to feel like this, so many times. And it's like, but why is it that I feel like it's like, like every other day or every other week, right? But it's like, no, it is like that though, because you grow and you change, like constantly, especially when you are more aware of it, you have those epiphanies and you're just like, oh yeah, that's okay, and I feel like I have it like every now and then, but that just, to me, that means that, okay, I am being conscious about this, and I am trying to do the best, for myself, for my mental health, and to really keep myself in check, right? And so, it just starts with you being alone with your own thoughts and allowing it to come.
So does something usually happen to you, not physically or anything, but does certain thoughts usually enter your mind before you can tell that, whoa, Kevin, it's self-reflection time today? Or is it something where you just automatically do?
Yeah, usually it is like, like the first thing that you said, because we're constantly moving and we're constantly excuse me, thinking. And so usually we don't know that we're in something until we are pretty much out of it, or it gets, rough, right? And so it's like, oh, if it gets rough, then it's like, okay, yeah, I think I need to chill, or I need to reflect, right? Or after, you go through whatever it is that you're going through, and you're like, okay, yeah, that was difficult. That was rough, right? And so, um, let's see how I feel about it, because I think once after you go through something, people like totally forget like the whole processing part, right? Which is like part of like reflecting and all that stuff, processing and understanding those emotions, right? It's so important, like right now, right? So I have been feeling some type of way about a certain individual, right? And I was like, oh, why do I feel this way, right? It's I don't need it because I associated with it being negative, right? I'm just like, okay, I need to not think about it, right? But if I just tell myself, oh, and you'll be fine, right? And you'll be fine. But the truth is, every single second of the day, whether it's tomorrow or a week from now, and it has been a week from now, I'm still thinking about the same thing. But I tell myself, oh, but that's unrealistic, right? Because I'm not allowing myself to really process it, because you can never really tell how much time you need. No one can tell you how much time you need to process something, not even your own self. And so here I am telling myself, get over it. But then here I am still thinking about it because I'm just like, oh, see, I'm not allowing myself to really to understand it and process it because I feel it. I'm just like, get over it. But then I did not sit there with myself and be like, Kevin, like, why are you feeling this way? And what are you feeling? Like, are you feeling like angry? Are you feeling more than one emotion? And why? And it's okay to feel it, and you don't always have to get down to the root of it, but just feel it and, try find healthy outlets to just process it, and so for me, I've been listening to a lot of music and I've been walking, around my neighborhood and just being out in nature. And you know what? I feel so much better. I don't feel like that, like initial, like intensity of emotion that I felt about this person, right? And so then I'm just like, wow, like I gave myself time. I didn't tell myself get over it anymore. And I just, went to go find some therapeutic outlets for me. And it can be as simple as listening to music or going on a walk. And surely and slowly, you just like, you know, just let go of it. And then, you start to feel different ways about it. And you recognize that, yeah, I did. I did feel angry. I was angry. But now I'm just like, I don't know exactly how I feel because, I'm reflecting right now with you guys right now. I don't know how I feel, but I feel lighter. I feel better. And I'm more calm. And I can say that, yes, I was angry, but I'm no longer angry. I'm still trying to process that. So, you just can't hold yourself and hold other people to a standard, because it just doesn't make sense when it comes to process.
Wow, thank you for that. How have you felt since when did you realize how important self-reflecting was? Was it when you came back from St. Cloud? Or was it prior to that already?
For me, I've always been the type to reflect a lot because I worry a lot, have a lot of anxiety, and I'm a people pleaser. So I'm constantly thinking about like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna think about me? And so I've always been really worried like that, and that gets the best of me. Okay, it really does get the best of me because then I spread myself too thin, and so for me for people like that who are constantly worried about what other people think about them, you have to learn how to not let that really control you, right? And so, but the good thing is that you are thinking about just not yourself. You're thinking about everything, right? So it's like finding that balance, So for me, I've always had to find that balance of like knowing how to reflect in a way where it's like I guess being able to control what you can control. If it's something is out of your hands, just let it go, right? Learn to let it go. Um, and so for me, I've always been learning to let things go that I can't control. And what I can control, I tend to forget that, which is myself, right? I can control how I feel about someone, how I feel about, a certain situation, because, a lot of times when we feel like we are the victim of something, or when we're feeling negative emotions, whether it's sadness or anger, we feel like we're the victim, right? And so it's like, well, I don't have to feel like that, And it's true, you don't have to feel like that. But then again, it comes with the whole like, well, then it takes time to understand to learn how to let it go. First you have to acknowledge it, right? So like I said, I acknowledged that I was angry about this person, which is why I was like, get over it, Kevin. It's not good for you. But then now I have to allow myself to learn how to, let it go. And so for me, it has helped me out a lot in many, many situations, because you do it all inside your head, right? And sometimes, you talk to people that you trust, but most of the time I like to just do it inside my own head. And, it's just a balance that you really have to find. And it really is tricky because it's the mind, And so, yeah, it has kept me out of a lot of trouble. But also, I sit here and I worry, which is something I have to learn how to let go of. But then, that's why I think reflecting overall is good for anyone.
Yeah, so with you and Haina, yeah, with the whole group, with you guys out there on the social media on YouTube, I'm sure when you guys read the comments that are on your videos, there are
Mhm.
some pretty nasty comments. Do you guys read the comments at all, or do you guys turn it off, or is that self-reflecting? Does that help you in deflecting those comments?
Yeah, when it comes to comments, good or bad, we like to read them all so that we can understand our community better, and so that we can just show that we're engaged, right? And especially if it's like a negative comment, we do try to reply to it in a very constructive um way, even if they're discriminating, even if they're hating, or even if they're just straight up rude, we try to engage with them because we want to just, show people that, we're here and we're listening, and we're not just, ignoring people, whether it's good or bad, but when it does come to negative comments, all four of us, we all have to understand that negative comments are inevitable, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's preference. Everyone is entitled to their preference, and that's okay. That's just radical acceptance that, we understand that not everyone's going to like us. Not everyone agrees that, like, for example, everyone knows that Whitney Houston is the legendary iconic singer. But what if someone came along and was like, oh no, Whitney Houston cannot sing, but we're like, but she's a legend. But it's like, well, if you think about it, that's their preference at the end of the day. And that's why, we are grateful for those that do connect with us and do like us. And that's where we put our energy into, right? And we don't worry too much about the negative comments. However, because this is our first time as a group putting ourselves out there like that, we as a group and individually have to learn how to process those negative comments, right? Especially, for Brenda and Anita, who aren't experienced in singing, they were bashed on a lot because of their singing, right? And so, of course, that's going to hurt them. And then for Jack and I, we are cisgender males, and we dressed up to represent a character, a female character. And so, yes, we were questioned, and we were attacked, and all these things were brought up, and so we just have to remember that these are just people's opinions, And not only that, too, people only judge us from what they see. People only see a 3-minute video clip of the four of us doing what we are doing exactly there, but they don't know our story. They don't know, our identities and our likes and dislikes and all those things, And so it's like, okay, we understand that they only have a 3-minute video clip of us, and we know that we are so much more than that. And at the end of the day, we know that our intent was to not discriminate, to make fun of anyone or anything. It's a parody, and it's purely entertainment, and it's as simple as that. And that's what we just need to know for our own selves, and then we just continue to move on.
Well, thank you for that. I feel so much for there's so many artists out there or content creators like you out there, and thấy Yumi read your cause so rude, and oftentimes I'm just like, man, I give you guys credit. A lot of kudos to you guys for you guys to be able to share your contents with us, to make us laugh, to bring joy into our lives. So thank you for that. What are you and Hai hoping to impact with your content creations? Is there a bigger vision there, a bigger goal there?
Yeah, I think we, as Hai, we just ultimately want to be a voice in our communities, especially the Hmong community. And the reason why we call ourselves Hai is because we want to change the narrative of what we think is cool, or we simply just want to talk about certain issues or celebrate certain things that we think is cool, because it is we do all share that platform, and we can literally steer it in any way that we want to. And so we're just going to focus on things that we think are important, whether it's like taboo topics and normalizing it, or celebrating, like music, comedy, celebrating our Hmong American identity through music, through comedy, and it's just being a voice, and then hoping that we just inspire other people to be a voice in their own communities as well, and it honestly is just as simple as that, that we just want to show people that we are a voice, and here's what we do, and you can do it too. And even if you don't want to do it, if you can relate and connect to us in any way, we are here, and we want to connect, and we want to, work with you, and we're here as the voice to serve and to represent, other people that, identify or connect with us as well too, because it's.
So for the listeners that has listened to our podcast, if you want to learn more about Hai, you can find a lot of what we all mentioned in the show notes. We'll put that down. These are the last few questions I'm going to ask Kevin. So Kevin, I got a question though. What does it mean to be a Hmong man?
To me, it means recognizing, your I guess your intersectionality, right? So that you are whatever you identify as, all of your identities, right? So cisgender male, you're Hmong, you're this, you're that, right? Recognizing that and understanding how how there's power dynamics to that, right? And how there's advantages and disadvantages to that, and how and the role that and how the world views you, and what you can do, what you cannot do. Understanding that, and then so being woke about that, and not using it to your advantage, pretty much, and if you're in a situation where someone is being mistreated, or if you're being mistreated, that you stand up and you say something about that, especially because that's what it's all about, these days, is power dynamics, advantages, disadvantages, privilege, and all that stuff, and so yeah, that to me, being a Hmong man is just understanding yourself so that you can understand other people. Yeah.
So Kevin, for those so just quickly, for those who don't know, or who's not familiar with the term cisgender, can you kind of just briefly educate our listeners on what you mean by that, cisgender?
Yes. So cisgender just means that, like, whatever you were born as, biologically, you identify with that, right? So that's why we have like transgender, meaning that like you transition from the opposite sex that you present as yourself currently, right? So cisgender just means that you identify as the biological gender that you were born as. So like since I am a male, but because we have like transgender male, and then we have like because of that, then we could also say, oh, I'm just a male as well too, right? Because transgender male are presenting themselves as male, and so when we say we're cisgender male, it's just like more details, just like how we have like preferred pronouns and all that stuff, like he, him, his, and all that stuff, because even those could be different as well too, right? Your preferred pronouns, it could possibly be different from your gender as well too, right? So then it's just important to understand that we have these wide ranges of like gender identities and pronouns and sexual identities and all that stuff. And so when we mention it ourselves, it's to let those around us know that we understand that and where we kind of come from and stuff like that. So cisgender just means that you identify with your biological gender or sex. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for sharing. Kevin, can you give us can you give the listener and give us the 15-year-old Kevin and a younger advice to himself for those who wants to be a content creator, a comedian, an entrepreneur, a YouTuber?
Yes. Let your passions, let your ideas, let your creativity be so powerful that it drives you past your fears, past whatever pressure that you are feeling, because whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're a Hmong, whether you're gay, you're straight, whatever, whether you think you're poor, whether you're not from America, that doesn't matter. What matters is that your passion and your creativity, it will always outshine everything, and it will always attract those that need to be connected with you, and make those people that do connect with that feel whatever type of way that they feel, and so just don't be afraid to be yourself, because if you don't allow yourself to be yourself, then you will never come up with these great ideas and never want to put them out. So just don't be afraid to be yourself, because even though you're 25 today, you're still scared to be yourself, and you're still learning how to embrace yourself. And so don't hold back your own light, because so many other people can hold back your own light, but the one that does it the most, is you. You are your biggest enemy. No one can do anything to you besides your own self. So don't hold yourself back, and let yourself do you.
Wow. That definitely helped me today too. I needed that today.
That's great.
Lastly, Kevin, we're very humble of your time. Well, how can we follow, connect with you? Can you give us some outlet of your social media?
Yes. So I go by Kevin Phoojywg Xiong. So you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook. Just literally type up Kevin Phoojywg Xiong, and Lolo Phoojywg is all connected together. PHOOJYWG. You can find my covers on there. You can find my skits on there. Again, YouTube and Facebook. And Hi is the same thing as well too. Just type in Hi, HAIB, or you can type in officially Hi, and you can find our stuff on there. You can find the Stop video on there. And so Facebook and YouTube is where it's at.
Thank you so much for your time today, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Loved talking with you.
Well, that ends our episode. If you haven't yet, visit our website at www.momentalk.com, or find us on Facebook, Moment Talk. Lastly, if you're listening on us on a podcast from Stitcher or Spotify, Google Play, or iTunes, please give us an honest rating. One last thing, we want to give a shout out and DJ Peter for allowing us to use their song and beats. Thank you so much. You can check them out on YouTube.